Welcome back to Greenlands, and we are starting off emptying the fertilizer out. This thing has been pretty full and we're back. Yep, feeling much better today, so thought I would try and get some stuff done. So this video was recorded a long time ago, as quite often the case when I take a bit of a break, but hey, we will make do with the notes that I made as I edited it. So yep, so we're gonna get the fertilizer sold, and then we're doing hay today. We have a lot of hay to cut, so yep, that is the plan. So about 97 grand from the first load of fertilizer, which is not too bad. This is the other job I wanted to get done today. We have basically 150,000 litres of whole crop silage in this bunker that is stuck. It's a giant game bug that's been about as long as I've played FS, and so we are going to fix it. And the way we can do that is a bit of painting to empty the bunker silo. Kind of, again, it's been around as long as I've been playing FS. You can empty bunker silos by painting away the heap that's on the ground. So we're just going to tidy up that bit that I've dropped. Annoyingly, on here, you can't paint the texture that's been used to build the farm. It's probably a way to fix it, but I'm just going to go with what's available because it's inside the bunker anyway. And yeah, we're just going to empty this silo out. There might be another way of doing it, but I am not aware. So yeah. And then we're going to tip about 150 litres of crop swath back in, compact it, roll it, and then we're going to fake the fertilisation time because this was fertilised silage. A bit like I helped Kartek do with his grass silage on Calmston. So yeah, we're going to F12 in some whole crop, dip that in the bunker, compact it, level it, roll it, and then go into the XML and set the fertilization time to, I'm just trying to read that number, 256 million seconds, I think. If you want to know what the number is, leave me a comment below and I will stick it in the comments or the video description. I think it's 256 million seconds to ferment the silage. So yeah, we're just going to do a bit of really bad job at compacting it. I should have paid more attention to doing this because I've got to manually compact it, which we've done. Put it into a slightly nice neat pile. We don't have quite as much as we had, but you know, effectively because it was stuck, we've gained 135,000 litres of now 100% fermented whole crop silage, so we can use that to go as part of the feed because it was really bugging me that I couldn't use it. So yeah, and it's a long-running FS bug. So we're going to make some TMR now, and we're going to start with a bit of whole crop silage, a bit of grain mix, some grass silage, some maize silage, some hay, and some straw. So quite a varied mix for me, because we've got all those things to hand on the farm. Yeah, so Jaw is feeling much better. I say thank you to the people that sort of deal with well wishes and stuff. It's appreciated. It was just in it. It's kind of fixed itself in the end. But yeah, I was in a lot of pain, taking a lot of painkillers, and didn't feel like talking for 30 minutes every day to record a video. So it's going to take me a bit of a while to get caught back up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 videos recorded, but none voiced. So might be a bit spotty for a few days, but we'll get things sorted and get caught up and get back to normal, I guess. So yeah, putting some grain mix into the mixer. I do not remember, so it looks like we've done 10% whole crop silage, 5% grain mix so far. Bit of crashing because it wouldn't be if we didn't crash, but yeah. Yeah, the main job for today is to get the hay cut. Obviously last time, you may not remember, we did the couple of million litres of grass silage. Next, this video is hay, and then after that we've got the mega field grass cut for more grass silage. So I'm trying to space these videos out a bit because it can get a bit repetitive, I think. We've got hay and straw to do on Maypole next, so there'll be an Attingham video in between where we look at building a new farm because A, people seem to like me building farms, which I suck at, and B, I had a poll, and you might have seen the results of that. So yeah, what I was looking at doing on Atting was moving to the beef yard, but no, we are building a new farm. So that's the next Atting video, which you'll see in a few days' time. Yeah, got a poll running. I might have finished by the time you see this, for the new tractor on Maypole Farm, because I thought I'd ask you guys, and seems to have got a good response, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, apparently YouTube has been a bit quiet this week. I have sort of noticed, I guess. I've been watching a lot of Linus Tech Tips again, and so yeah, they've got hundreds of videos archived, so I've not been sure of things to watch. But yeah, I guess I haven't been watching much farm sim lately, maybe because there isn't much about. Let's say we've got, what we got, about 40% maize silage, 25% hay, 10% whole crop silage, some grass silage, and all sorts of other good stuff. The thing I like about the realistic mix is I can kind of put in whatever I feel like at the time, as long as we've got the minimum grass and maize silage, then we're pretty much good. On Attingham, I'm going to do some slightly tighter mixes, but on here with so many cows, I think it's just a case of feed them whatever we can. And actually, I didn't do it yet, but I'm actually thinking of getting another 80 cows to fill the shed up, so we've got 240. I might round it up to 250 just to push the challenge a bit harder. So speaking of cows, we have a whole load of milk to sell. I think we have 2 trailer loads to sell, so 100,000 litres to get rid of. Not sure how many days milk that was, but a lot of money. £74,000 for the first load, and the same again. So this is going to let us start to make some progress on repaying the loan, which is kind of the purpose of this game. We have a massive debt, so it would be good to pay some of that off. So if we go in here, we're at 8.2 million. I think I take it down to 8. So obviously we started with 10 million. That's 2 million paid off. Obviously the loan has fluctuated as we've brought land and kit and stuff. I'm hoping that it's now going to be going in the direction of being paid off a lot. And that's why I'm thinking that we might get more cows. We might get some more. I think we'll stick with brown Swiss, keep it consistent. But yeah, I think we might get some more. If you're curious, I'm not running the enhanced animal system on here. So we've not got the same problem as we had on Attingham with cows that are out grazing, dying. I don't think I need that extra challenge on here. So yeah. The calves and the beef cow will stay out in the field grazing. So these 2 fields, I say these 2 fields, so this field whatever it is, and the one in front of me are both going to be ploughed in to be, I think, oats, which we might do in the next video. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we planted a couple of our arable fields with grass at the end of harvest, and these are being ploughed in to become arable fields. So but rather than constantly farming the same fields with so many options on here, I did think that I would just rotate some of the fields, and some would become pasture and some would become crop. And that's part of what we're doing now. I think with how much milk we've got on here, we probably can get this debt hammered down pretty quickly now. But we'll see. It takes as long as it takes. So we have some grass to mow. We have, I think, 4 fields. So there's going to be a fair bit of course play. And I'm going to jump quite a lot of it, because once we've done it once, you kind of know what I'm doing. I think you probably kind of know how to make hay anyway. If we're, honest, you're watching farms and videos. So, yeah, so I've got conditioner on. These fields are not fully grown, but I'm not sure if in November they'll get knocked back for winter. So I wanted to get them cut anyway. You might notice, I think, that we get the tree flickering back if there we go. Yeah, the tree flickering came back. So I had to go out again and clear the shader cache, and that fixed it up just fine. Again, it was pretty simple. I don't know why the game started doing that for me. It's not been doing it for a while. Maybe it's because every stage is pushing into autumn now, and that may be just a thing. It may be the autumn trees, but clearing the shader cache sorts it, so it's not a massive problem, I don't think. yeah, I'm going to say a quick thank you to patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you all supporting the channel. Again, thank you for the kind words on Patreon and stuff. And also, if you want to support the channel, use partner code Disturbed for DLCs and Season Pass 2 and all that kind of thing. I still need to get Season Pass 2. I know last time I left it right until the last minute to buy it, and I was still kind of disappointed, but, you know, I'm going to buy it, so I may as well get it soon. I'm not sure if they're still doing the deal where you get the 2 extra Volvo vehicles early. Maybe it's even just the one, maybe it's just the wheel loader. If you're on PC, you can just download them anyway. Because Giants released, you can just use them because they're in the data vehicles folder. You just need a mod desk to load them up, or get them off King Mods. I didn't say that. Yeah. They're kind of cool. I really want to use the wheel loader on Maypole once I can have the finances to get it. The little Volvo tractor is another one of those old low horsepower tractors that I'm unlikely to ever use for anything. I fell asleep at that point. Literally, I was recording this quite late for me, and yeah, I fell asleep and went through the hedge. Thought I'd leave it in because it's the reality of sometimes when I'm playing this game, it's very relaxing, I find, and yeah, I dozed off. I've done it a couple of times and usually leave it in because I find this game very relaxing to play, and it's the reality sometimes of doing this stuff. I'm not sure what I'm checking here. Progress of courseplay, maybe? Yeah, I think that was it. So I've still got courseplay ploughing that field in. There is a whole nother field to plough. We're going to then have to rock pick that field. Don't know if it needs liming, but we also have a lot of lime at the rock crusher to sell. So what I'll probably do there is make sure that the bin that we have for lime is full and then sell the rest, because again, it pays quite well. It's a bit like fertilizer. Like that's the courseplay work had just finished up. The other thing that I need to do is make sure I'm putting the slurry and the manure through the BGA, because yeah, that fertilizer is, the fertilizer and the milk are really going to be the thing that get this save completed, I guess, because it's one of those ones that has a definite endpoint. When I get that £10 million loan paid off, we will stop. That's the goal of the series, so that's what we're going to try and achieve. I had kind of a sub goal of owning what looks to me like on the map this farm, and if we achieve that in the same time, awesome. If not, yeah, I may just stop anyway, because as I said before, playing 3 saves is kind of tricky, particularly as I've added in another game now. It's kind of hard to make progress on, you know, 1 and a bit episodes a week. So yeah, probably we'll as soon as we can wrap this one up. Attingham is going to run for another year, and then I'm going to wrap that up, and then I'm going to see what we do. I have no plans beyond that because the different maps will be out. And so why decide now? It's probably going to be a few months. So yeah, we'll wait and see at that point. There might be some cool things, but you never know. The Bali Spring came out. A little bit of frustration from me with that because they used my geo initially without asking. They have now credited me, and when the update comes out, it's going to be included properly. So yeah, that was an evening of annoyance. Fairly quickly sorted out actually once I got hold of Irish Connor and he replied to my message, and luckily I had put in the King mod release, which is about the only place you can really download it officially, but you need to get permission to use it. And I sent him that picture, and he also went, "Oh, sorry, didn't realise. We thought it was available for free, even though it's in capital letters on the page where you can download it from." Oh well. Yeah, that did annoy me at the time. We got it sorted, and maybe it was a genuine mistake. Maybe they are, you know, like 90% of the internet that can't read. But it's sorted now, so it has made me much more hesitant to want to release stuff. Kind of that way anyway. And if it's on Mod Hub, it's harder for people to just take, but you can't. It's really frustrating that Giants don't want people to have the equivalent of a seasoned geo in FS22. because people want it. So yeah, very annoying. Anyway, we're going to start using a bit of course play. So I'm going to get the mowers going on course play. Try and speed things up a bit, because then we can end up with probably 3 tractors running at once, depending on how... Oh, need to put the conditioner on. Depending on how quickly the mowing goes, because we have the baler that windrows, so we don't need to windrow, so that saves us a job. But we are going to need to TED it. I'm only going to TED once because, yeah, we need the speed on this. I'm not doing what I'm doing on Maypole and Attingham to some extent and simulating seasons drying. We're just going to go for it and get things done slightly quicker. That means I get to use one of the cool little masses that I have on here. Not old masses, the newer masses, but I really like them. Didn't really use I say it whenever I use them, I think. I didn't really use Massey in FS22, I don't think. FS19, sorry. I don't think, someone might correct me. I used a lot more John Deere and Case, which is a bit obvious maybe. Massey's kind of a big brand, but hey, it's nice to play with some different kit. There's something that I'm trying to do more in FS22, even if some tractors come out in FS22 that I used in FS19, they will be making an appearance straight away. There was an old Case, and I can't remember which model it was. It was a really bad quality mod, in a way. I'm sure it was an FS17 convert. It was a bit ropey looking, but it was the second tractor that I brought on Sandy Bay. So if you watched that series, you'll know which tractor it is. It then went from Sandy Bay on to Chellington, and from Chellington on to Oak Hill. And it was, I kept moving it from the XML, so it was essentially the same thing, and it had genuine hours that I'd used on it, and it was quite a lot. And so if that ever came to FS22 as a proper convert, it might not have been a proper convert in 19, because I wasn't as cautious back then. But if it wasn't a super dodgy convert, I would probably use it, because I spent a lot of hours in that tractor, and it was an old open top Case, and basically I brought it because it was really cheap as a mod, and it had a front loader, and that's what I needed on Sandy Bay. So most of field 41 ploughed now. Field 42 was the other one. I did a bit of tidying up on field 42 when courseplay had finished, because there are a few misbits, because it's courseplay and it does that. Yeah, it doesn't bug me. I can live with it doing 95% of the job, and me having to just whiz around and tidy some bits up. That really doesn't bother me. It's so much better than a base game worker, particularly at things like ploughing an odd-shaped field, that, you know, I'll take that any day of the week over, you know, at the moment I have essentially 3 jobs happening at once, me doing one of them. I could have even had more going. I have on this farm, because there's so much to do. We have a whole load of grassland to fertilise, and that I'll probably do with courseplay and auto drive maybe. It depends which option we go. I might go solid fert just because it's quick. And we've got quite a lot of it because we produce it, and obviously the slurry goes into the BGA to become digestate, which then goes into the dryer to become fertilizer. So it's not really in our favour to use it for the fields, although we did in the last one. So, oh well. Going to stick the tedder on courseplay now, trying to get more things going. So we have 1 and a bit more fields to mow, 3 fields to ted, 4 fields to bale, and then all the bales to deal with. So one of those fields is not massive, but you know, that's the ploughing done with courseplay. We have a few bits to tidy up, I think. I'm not sure if I showed any, because we have a lot of rocks. Greenlands is one of those maps that does throw a lot of rocks. I think it throws big rocks. So we need to stone pick, but we have the slightly cheaty stone picker, so not a problem. And we'll put those through the rock crusher and make lime, which we sell. So, you know, it's not really the end of the world. But yeah, it's left a kind of ragged edge around the field, because I did a lot of landscaping to keep courseplay working. with the way that FS kind of combines grass fields if you mow them, because it sees meadow grass and planted grass as both grass, and so it merges the field boundaries. So yeah, there's a lot of slightly ropey landscaping around these two fields to keep them as two separate fields. I may end up having to do that with 43 and 44, which are the two that were arable that I've planted for grass. We'll see. If I do, I do. It's not a problem. I did ask really early on whether we should take all the hedges out, and most people wanted me to keep them, so we've still got all the hedges, which is why I haven't created lots of really big fields, because smaller fields suit where the map is based. I can't remember where it's based. It's a fictional map, but it is based somewhere in the UK, and I can't remember where that is, because I started playing this a very long time ago. That would be interesting, actually. I should look back and see when I actually started playing this. It was a very long time ago. So videos we have coming up. Mentioned Attingham. Got that ready to go. As soon as... Well, not as soon as. By the time you're watching this, the poll for May polls will have ended, and I will have started recording that or recorded it. And I've done the last Can You Make Money video for Maize Plus and Animals, and that is with horses, and so that'll be done in the next few days. I may or may not do a summary video of all of them. As I've gone through, I've done slightly different things, so it's quite hard to compare them. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a summary video on there. I have another set of videos I am looking at doing. I may not do all of the animals, but a couple of times the question has come up. It may only have been once, but I thought it was quite a good question. What do I need to start with when I have animal X and Maize Plus? So, you know, like if you've got dairy cows, what crops do you need? That kind of thing. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool video to do. So yeah, probably going to start working on that soon-ish. I had wanted to do one on increasing egg production and wool production, and I got it working, and I posted on the Maize Plus Discord how you do it, and then I tried to do it in a video, and I couldn't get it to work again. And it feels like it's one of those things that's very, very fragile as to whether it's going to work or not, and I don't know why. So, because what I wanted to do was eggs and wool and maybe things like manure and slurry for pigs, and yeah, I just found it was really sensitive, is the best word I can use. So I did eggs on their own. It worked just fine. I had tried for a day before that to get eggs to work doing the same method, and it didn't work. So I got it to work, posted how you do it on most of the Discord, started to prep some stuff, and couldn't get it to work again. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit like the feed mixer, and it's all a bit sensitive within FS, and it doesn't like being messed with particularly. So one of the reoccurring questions with the feed mixer is, can I insert sheep feed or horse feed or chicken feed? And the answer is no. Or if you can, do it at your own risk, because the script for the feed mixer is within FarmSim, not within Maize Plus, is quite sensitive, and that's why it only has at the moment, or it has got pig food. It's sheep food and chicken feed people ask about. That's why at the moment it only has TMR and pig feed, because that was, I guess, the limitations of what they found they could put in there. So yeah, maybe it's like that. Maybe I just keep making the same silly mistake when I'm doing it. I don't know. But yeah, I found it was really, really inconsistent as to whether it worked or not. Which is why I haven't done a video, because if I'm struggling to do it, I don't feel like I'm in a good place to tell you guys how to do it, and to help, you know, when inevitably it doesn't work, because it doesn't work for me half the time. So yeah. So if you were waiting for that video, that's why it hasn't happened. If you want to know the change you theoretically need to make, let me know and I'll post it on Discord, because it's one that's baffled me a bit. I'll probably have another look at it at some point and see if I can get it to work consistently, but at the moment I can't, and it's really bugging me. So Well, it hasn't been bugging me lately, but it's bugging me now. I'm talking about it again, and it really bugged me when I couldn't get it to work. So, yeah, I don't know why. One of those things, I guess. The break from work has been really good. I'm still much more tired than I thought I would be. It might be because I've not been eating great over the last few weeks, because it's been the Christmas break and we've had more bad food in the house than I would normally eat. So yeah, trying to fix that. Need to get myself organised for my running training as well, because now just about 5 months away from attempting a 100-mile ultra marathon again. So need to stop slacking off on that and be a bit more consistent, I suspect. Because they drew a picture of you don't get a medal, you generally don't get a medal for ultramarathon, for 100-mile ultramarathons. You get a belt buckle, which is kind of Americanized, I guess, but it looks really cool. So this will be attempt number 3, I think. So yeah, hopefully I will get it this year. And it's not really about hope, it's about mindset. And I think last year was much more mindset than physical preparedness, and the year before, to be honest. It's really quite a mentally challenging thing to try and tackle. So yeah. So what have we got left to do on here? Pretty much finished this field. Quite a lot of bales. I'm going to stick this on course play to do the rest of this job, because it took me quite a while even to mow, ted and bale one field. Was quite a big job, and we had 4. So yeah, there's a bit of course play, there's a bit of me just playing away, chilling out. But I have a feeling that I skipped most of that, because it took quite a long time, and we're already at 27 minutes and we've done one field. So to give you an idea, in the time it took me to mow and bale one field, we've ploughed 2 fields. So that kind of shows you how long it took. I'm not sure why it took so. It's quite a big field, I guess. Yeah. Not sure how much we got off of each field, either in litres or in bales. I think I did reset them all, so I could have a look, but I do know how many bales we made at the end, so it's quite a few. So I could work it out, because I know how big a bale is. So yeah, I think it's about 740,000 litres of hay, I think, which is not bad from 4 fields. Still getting quite big yields. I don't know if it's still a thing, because I've not played without precision farming in a very long time. Early on, precision farming was giving a much higher yield than without precision farming, particularly for grass. So I don't know if that's still a thing, but it feels like we are getting an awful lot, but we need an awful lot. So that's not really the end of the world for this. 2 more fields to ted, I think. The mowing is done. You can see the mower is sat in the field over there. 1 more field to ted. That's not so bad. Getting through these jobs slightly quicker than I thought. Not that I'm doing them now, but I think you could just see on the map there, actually 2 of those fields have merged into 1. So I think we're probably going to have to do some work with terrain painting to keep them separate. Got the auto-loading bale trailer. I think this has auto-load built in. I don't think I'm using universal auto-load on here. Although I might switch to it, because it's generally better, I find. Particularly these trailers, they are not happy dropping bales on the floor. I find the bale stacks tend to fall apart a bit. That's not so much of a problem on here, because a lot of the bales have been going into the bale storage mod, so we don't have to drop many on the floor. But there are some that we will need to, because we get more bales than we can fit in the shed. Yeah. We ended up with, I need to reset the trailer. I haven't used this trailer in quite a while, I don't think. There we go. But yeah, it's not using universal auto load. It must be using... I can't remember which of the FA team's auto load script it is. That's really bad. The other auto load script, which is by someone else in the farming agency, but it's not the script, it's these trailers, because these trailers sit with the bales tipped in, and that's a bit of a pain. So that's why I don't like it. But it's not a problem so much on here because we put them into the dynamic bale storage, so they don't really get unloaded. But yeah, that's why I don't like it. It's just one of those things. Lost my train of thought there completely. Yeah. Brain dead. Oh yeah, how many bales do we get? We've got 80 bales. That was it. And they don't all fit in the shed. So I'm going to have to find somewhere else to put them. Possibly in the... there's a spare covered bunker silo they could go in, I think. Or next to the grass silage bales that are in that covered bunker silo. Or maybe on them, because we could use them first, because we have quite a lot of grass silage stored anyway. So yeah. That is one way of us dealing with it. I'm going to sort that in the next video, because this one was quite long. By the time I got to that point, it's actually longer than I wanted to make it. But we had a job to get done. So 24 bales off that first field. I didn't know how many there was, but yeah, 80 bales in total to which are 9,000 litres each, I think, which is 74,000 litres. I think. No, that's not right. 72,000 litres. 720,000 litres. So it's 720,000 litres. I should not do live maths. It's one of my rules. But yeah, decent amount of hay off of there. That is going to really help with keeping everything fed over the winter. Yeah. If you can't tell, I'm running out of things to say at this point, but we've only got a couple of minutes to go. So let's get these bales put in the shed. So yeah, this is the dynamic bale store by Casa Farms, available on his itch.io page. And it's really cool. I don't think he's released the Maize Plus versions yet, so this is the normal version. It's got in it straw, hay and whole crop silage, because whole crop silage is normal silage, so it works. He was working on them. I keep forgetting to ask him if they're ready or not, because it would be kind of useful on here to have one that stored grass silage, for example. But I can't be bothered to edit it myself because I'm being lazy. Yeah, anyway, you just put the bales in the side here. You take bales out as you need them, as you will have seen me do when I'm feeding, or if you're being lazy, you can use it like a silo for filling, which is kind of cool as well. I think this is the last little bit of baling to get done, which I took over on to get finished, because I ran out of space in the bale shed and so couldn't finish stacking bales. So I thought I'd finish making them and leave the bale stacking for tomorrow's problem, or next week's problem, because that tends to be how often these happen. Future me's problem. That's it. Future me's problem. Yeah, so it's good to be back making videos. It's been kind of weird not making them, if I'm honest. And hopefully things will start getting back to normal, as yeah, Jaws held up kind of okay. Brain's kind of tired, but I would blame that on it being New Year's Day, but I was in bed by about 10:30 and slept through all of the very loud fireworks that Mrs. D dealt with the dogs. So yeah, I was falling asleep by 10, so she said just go to bed. So I did, because I was exhausted. I did the early shift of 6 o'clock with the dogs getting up. Anyway, I'm going to say thanks for watching, guys. So good to be back. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, comments, questions or suggestions below. And if you enjoyed the video and you aren't already, consider subscribing and turn on notifications. And I will see you next time